You don't know are the Real Things podcast. Hey yo!
Yes, I big up on yourself on this year Friday. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing on this year sunny and windy Friday? Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the pod. Where are my poddies? Class is in session. Let me know where you're watching me from as you enter. Let me know how are things in your neck of the woods. Big up on yourself. Blessings, blessings, and welcome. As you come on in, be sure to hit that like as you come in. And if you're on the outside and have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for?
We're both from different places, and it's hard to say.
Yes, it's Friday, and you know we have to vibes it up differently. Differently, we have to vibes it up. Happy, happy Friday. Can you imagine? 1 week has already flown by. Bro,
We're moving right at the same tempo, and I want you next to me.
all right, you know, I always want you next to me. I always want you here listening. I always want you here watching because you know, say my love for you is from end to end. And this especially for my returning supporters. Big up on yourself. All my moderators, big up on yourself.
We're both from
Thanking God for another week that has passed. Basically, I mean, you can say the week don't pass. Today Friday, so we're closing off. We are closing off and looking forward to a beautiful, beautiful weekend. How you doing?
different places, and it's hard to say.
ESI. Today we have a very interesting class. We have a very interesting class. So, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what's happening on the streets of YouTube, well, too much things have been happening, and we are about to open some Pandora boxes over here. We are about to open some cans of worms, unfortunately. So, for those of you who are don't like the critters and the creatures and the creepy crawlies, unfortunately, it's about to go down because one thing that I know is that if you don't know things straight up, if you're unaware of a lot of things, whitey streets will teach you what you don't know.
We're moving right at the same tempo, and I want you.
While we're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. What are you waiting for? And this is for those of you who are on the gully side. Come over and make the things them go on because you know, say, you saw the right spot.
Next to me.
So, in the meantime and between time, we are about to delve into today's podcast. My buddies, listen to me. What I don't know, we will learn. And what we all don't know, we are about to learn some things today. So, on the streets of YouTube, so much has been happening. Guys, we've seen where, we've seen where, you know, people were hauled before, you know, clients. People run away when the heat was too hot. People were tossed. So many things. Well, right now it is our turn, and we're gonna have to just drag ourselves to the classroom, sit attentively, and take as much as we can. And in the meantime, we shall also be made to illustrate what we learn, or what we are learning, or what we have learned. Anyways, some of people, we've seen our good lady from Bungoma. Don't know what's going on with my electricity. I've seen our lady from Bungoma came out to the streets, and she's done a master class about uh, when it comes to the law of media usage, or what you might call it, in Kenya, where the constitution lies. She's demonstrated how the constitution, lies when it comes to freedom of speech. We've seen a few things here and there. We've heard people talking about things here and there. But her class, her illustration actually stood out to me in a kind of way, and I had no other choice than to conclude that, a lot of us out here on the streets are missing the main point. And a lot of us fail miserably, failed miserably. Just listening to the illustration, listening to, you know, the conversation of the lady of Bungoma, I really had to conclude seriously that a lot of us, failed miserably. All right. So on the streets, because the tension was so high and the friction was so much, a lot, a lot of videos taken down, hidden channels, this, da, 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 da. We've seen all that was happening. But in the midst of all of that, it appears like some people, you know, forgot what this whole thing was about. Reaction was okay while it lasted. It was okay while it was reaction. But to me, people, what those guys, what got them, what got them, or what brought them to where they are today, having to start over, was when the defamation and the assassination of one's character became the norm on their shows. I call it shows because it's basically a show. You come on the streets every day and you turn on your mic and your camera and you entertain. So it's a show. Yeah. When the defamation and the assassination of one's character became the norm, it was no longer reaction. So you see me, in order to educate myself a little bit more about these streets of reaction, I watch a lot of, let me tell you, I watch so many reactions, or reactors rather, from, globally. And I've seen some things. I've seen many, many styles, many types of reaction on the street here on these YT streets. But this clan, this crew have a particular style. There's a particular style where critique becomes very critical, very personal. That is what brought me out to these streets. Because I was like, bro, this is like personal fights. These are no longer people sitting down making sensible criticism. Some of them would not go too deep. The ones them who know how to test the waters, they would laugh and they would dance around the story, but they come back and they would jab here and there from the same clan. But while I sit off in the bushes over there and I watch how they behave, it all boils down to the same thing: assassination. I remember, I don't know how many of you, been around long enough to remember when Qarol actually sat on her show one afternoon, my time, and said that I will not stop I will not stop until Ayamara goes down. You guys remember that? I was like, bro, this is personal. You know what I'm saying? This is really personal for this girl. But I watched on, and it got to it got to very aggressive style. I don't even know what to call it. I want to say reaction. Very aggressive style content, entertainment, take down style, defamation. I've seen where that same Qarol came out and said that even Dimongo was a call girl, Marwa was a scammer, and these kind of things. What do you call these things without proof? Would you as a judge, a lawyer that is listening right now, what would you term these things as? Like you come out and you state clearly that I know, and this is what happens. This is what happens, this is what happens and this is how things happen without no clue, without no proof rather. I'm trying to fix this thing because I'm not really sure what's going on. Sometimes these gadgets. Without no proof, you know, without no proof. And you fabricate these stories and you come out and you entertain your audience. What would you call this if you're a lawyer looking on? Someone would come to the camera on a daily basis and forget about what they see on camera for most parts. They would do a little of what they see on camera. One. Sorry guys, because I'm not really sure. Let me just take out my mic jack and start over. Masterclass that our Lady of Bungoma illustrated in her masterclass, where she illustrated about the laws of freedom of speech in her country. I had to go and do some research myself because I'll tell you the honest truth, guys. I was left appalled that all this time, all this time that she spent doing the research to come back and fight about freedom of speech, she missed the key point, which was that it is not about stopping you from reacting or about doing your reviews. It is about the defamation. And it got to boiling point where one would have to come out and say, well, look, don't speak about me or my family. Just done with it. Just stop. Take my videos down from your channels. Remove those videos. Just done with it because it's like you're not getting it. Stop speaking about me and my family. You know? I think they missed the point. It got to a frustrating point where one would have to come out and say, well, leave it alone. If you're not hearing, just leave it. Just leave it as it is. Anyway, I went into the class, and like I said, I was appalled. I was appalled, very much appalled that the point. Everybody was so busy chest thumping about channels. What channel? Take down what channel? Who channel was gone? Not mine, not hers, anybody's. My channel is still here. This, da 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 da. And I'm like, bro, it's not about the channels. It's not. It was never about the channels. It was about the defamatory statements that actually propelled this whole thing out of proportion. Let's go to class. Class is in session.
Get striked. That's the title of the day. And why are they hiding their videos? That is another question that we want to ask ourselves and anyone who is around. Guys, you know something about YouTube sometimes. It's not easy for people to come out and tell you the truth, like the truth the way it is. People are so fond of lying to you for the sake of making you feel sorry for them or making you believe that they're the greatest or making you believe whatever they want you people to believe.
Ah, guys, no, this is where it all began. Trying to prove to your audience that one is not the greatest, one is always a liar, one is always trying to scam people. This is where you went over bounds. How about reacting to the videos, the real videos? As you say in your intro that are placed, you react to videos. You react to videos in a little way, but you fabricate your own stories, come up with your own conclusion without saying allegedly, even though that cannot save you if there is a time when you need to be saved. But it can help because it's alleged. There's because there's no proof to a lot of the things that that you would accuse one of. You understand? No, to the part of missing videos. Coming out to chest thump about videos. Why are they taking down their videos and why are their videos being missing? Your title speaks for itself. The striker gets strike. The striker will get strike. The striker gets struck because you had their content. You're in possession of the striker's content. You defame. You were caught by YouTube breaching the community guidelines on numerous occasions. But thank God that YouTube is not like you guys. They would still somehow find it in their hearts to see that you are, bringing over something to the podium. So they would, it's your first offense, second offense, they'll give you a chance. Anyway, videos, on the point of videos being hidden or removed or whatever, if the striker, as per you, realize that you guys can come back for them and complain their channels to YouTube, eh? You can come back and complain their channels to YouTube based on maybe one or two mishaps. Like I said here earlier in a video a few days ago that I don't know if you parties remember that when I said that the YouTube community guidelines is such a broad spectrum. There is no way one can know how, you know, one can really know how or what all the guidelines are. It's hard because it's a lot of things. So, on that note about hidden videos, you should also remember that your channel, you had to scrape your channel also of their content because you were in possession of their content. Remember? And you use it to defame. You use it to breach and break a lot of rules based on the community guidelines. You broke a lot of rules. So, in order for you not to get struck down completely, you run and hide. So it's understandable. So it's nothing for you to chest thump about in this manner. You've lost. You've already lost. Because all those old videos, I want to tell you something, guys, that I've noticed on the streets of YouTube and other people that are close to me actually drew certain things to my attention that after after the shake-up of those channels, believe me, I saw with my two eyes and other people that I'm close with draw note to that and say, look, it's like there was a refresher. The channels, D-Mongo's old videos started coming up. Ayamaro's old videos started showing up on my timeline. Like People saw it. So it's like the pressure was lifted off. Those channels were refreshed. Come on, guys. Let's do some healthy reaction. So coming out to chest thump about videos and you want to know why videos were hidden. Yours, you had a clean sweep. Yours were a clean sweep. If you go to Marwan and these channel, they still have videos. They're videos. Yeah, they may move around a few things because maybe they've breached. So what? But yours are completely gone, hidden. Until when? I don't know. If you win your case. As for you, um, in your illustration, let's continue, guys.
But one thing they will never tell you is the truth. And that is why the people who bring out their truth as reactors were being fought on the streets. Let me clear this issue. So for those who are coming to fight with me, don't waste your time. Do you know why? Here in Kenya, we have something called freedom of speech. If you feel like you want to take me to court, take me to court, because if that makes you feel great on the street, it's okay. Take me to court the way you want to take me to court. I have my own reasons as to why I'm reacting. Oh, Qarol said it's business. Oh, you didn't know.
Okay. Now, as you heard, the teacher says she has her own reasons. I have my own reasons, in her own words, as to why I am reacting. But you miss off. You're missing something here. You're missing something here. You should end your sentence correctly. You have your own reasons. Let me finish it for you. You have your own reasons why you are reacting personally. That sounds more better to you? No, I'm just saying, I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just saying here, guys. Maybe, as she say, she's clearing it here. She has her own reasons why she's reacting, but end the sentence in the right way. Personally, you're reacting on a personal basis. Because most of those content that are now hidden were personal attacks. I'm telling you, facial expression, body language, the entire body language, and the words that came with it was totally personal attacks. I'm telling you. At one point, I couldn't help but wonder. I wonder if there's something like we don't know as a public. There was this video the other day that was done also by the teacher here, and she basically stated that she knows why I am doing my reaction the way how I react. She knows. And I'm like, this like some kind of personal feud between them. Are we not being told the truth? Like seriously, guys, are we not being told the truth as the public? She's basically said that she knows why I'm reacting the way I am. I'm like, wait, oh, go on. Maybe something happening in the past that we don't know, or maybe something is happening under the quiet that we don't know. So this is like a vendetta, and I'm gonna use my podium. I'm gonna use my platform to as a payback, and I will come for you every day, all day. As she said, I don't know if you guys remember that video. They will react until power goes down. I'm like, what? What? Why? Why? Anyway, my people, class continues.
Well, I'm not surprised though. You didn't know. Oh, Qarol said this. Oh, you didn't know. Well, I said what I said, and I will always stand by what I said. Now, where are my receipts today? Hey, receipts are not receipting today. Let's go. Let me go back because I want to tell you why we react before I tell you the next, this one. Yes, this one. So I want to read you the Constitution of Kenya before you start fighting with me, because me, I don't like fighting. Like, let's just bring the truth out there and let's remain with the truth. Okay?
All right. So this is where students pay attention. Pay attention, please. The teacher is about to illustrate to us about the laws of Kenya when it relates to freedom of speech. Listen in and listen carefully.
Right. Let me come back on the screen. So, oh, leave this family alone. Oh, leave so and so alone. Oh, just shut up. We're not leaving anything or anyone. We are simply doing what we know to do better. We are reacting, criticizing, analyzing people's videos on the streets.
Yeah, but you're not talking about the part with the defamation. You were quick. You were very quick to come here the other day when Marwa actually spoke about something of terror, something. And you were here, you know, ready to jump on the bandwagon because it's your friend, the old friend, right? But you're forgetting in his private meetings and private lives, which he used. I have it here on the platform, which he used to continuously solicit people to go up against the guy as saying that he's a scammer with no proof. With no proof, guys, with no proof whatsoever. Hey.
And it doesn't matter who we choose to. So long as it's someone who is always sharing a lot of negativity, we'll pick that negativity and run with it. Until when they will learn to be sharing some positive stuff. If not, it is what it is. Okay? So we are here doing what we know how to do better. And people are coming over here telling me too many stories. Guys, I don't have time for your stories. Like, I really don't have the time for that. All I need right now, is it? Yes, I don't think so. I hope you guys can read this. If you can't, then I will read it for you, okay? Freedom and independence of electronic, print, and all other types of media guaranteed, but does not extend to expression specified in Article 32(2). That states that the state, which is my government, okay, the state shall not exercise control over interference with any person engaged in broadcasting, the production of circulation of any publication for the dissemination of information by any medium.
The medium. So it does not matter whether you are on YouTube, whether you're AM, FM frequency, it doesn't matter. The state has no control over the dissemination of any of those content. Hold on.
Hello. Are we together?
Yes,
Naanguka
yes.
nayo Lucy. Niko naanguka nayo leo.
I'm here.
The state, which is my state, the government of Kenya, GOK, shall not exercise controlling over or interfering with any person engaging in broadcasting, the production or any circulation of any publication or the dissemination of information by any medium.
I wouldn't want you to be my teacher as of today because you're going to scare the heck out of me. Guys, do you hear emphasis? Sadly, I'm going to have to give you a fail. As I said in the beginning, you've all miserably failed. You know why? Forgetting that What brought you all to this jam session right now? What brought you all into this little corner where all videos have to be? By the way, hold on, hold on. Put some brakes on that. Let me put some brakes on that. Hold on. I don't need no distraction. No distraction whatsoever. If the state gives you freedom of speech to the extent where you could go on your uh, platform, go ahead, put back those videos. Put back, release all those videos. Please go ahead and release all those videos. Why are the channels depending on the old videos that doesn't concern the party in question or the plaintiff? Let's say the plaintiff. Why are the channels does not have the older videos from the plaintiff? Go ahead and put them back. So, guys, after listening to our teacher and lady here from Bungoma, I was left to do nothing than do a little research of my own. Now, forgive me, I will go a little bit slowly, just so we can both understand. And if I'm also missing points, if I'm also going, like if I'm not understanding or I'm not clear, I'm not understanding this clearly, no, you can correct me or you can educate me in the comment section. All right. So when it relates to this freedom of speech act, or I don't know, a law that our teacher was illustrating here, when it relates to that, I would say that yes, there are laws in place when it comes to freedom of speech. And I also stated clearly that I would have to give her a big fail because, along with a lot of others who are fighting over this situation here, because they've missed the key point that got them in this hot water, having them have to run and remove or hide those videos because they know why are my things so distorted, because they know quite well that these videos are they have some defamatory contents inside of them. Do you understand? So it leads me now to this act that I want to put side by side with her freedom of speech so we can all have a little better understanding or a little better clarification as to what's really happening here. I went and did a little research, and the research what I came up with was the Defamation Act 1970, right? Cap 36. It governs civil defamation. This is the Defamation Act of Kenya. See? There you go, guys. So I'm not reading out of thin air. So it says the Defamation Act in Kenya, specifically the Defamation Act 1970, Cap 36, governs civil defamation, protecting individuals from harm to their reputation caused by false and derogatory statements. But there's a catch. But criminal defamation is no longer a recognized offense. All right? I want to go to the key points of what I just read. It says civil law. Defamation law in Kenya is preliminary matter of civil law, right? Meaning individuals can sue for damages in their if their reputation is harmed by defamatory statements. Let me read that again. Defamation law in Kenya is preliminary a matter of civil law, meaning individuals can sue for damages if their reputation is harmed by defamatory statements. Okay, there's a catch. No criminal defamation. That's the headline there. The High Courts of Kenya declared Section 194 of the Penal Code, which relates to criminal defamation, unconstitutional. All right? So the High Court of Kenya declares Section 194 of the Penal Code, the Penal Code, which relates to criminal defamation. They basically saying it is unconstitutional, meaning it is no longer a criminal offense. Let's go on. There is still a catch. Defamation Act of 1970. Now it goes on to explain. The Defamation Act of 1970, Cap 36, is the preliminary legislation governing civil defamation in Kenya. What's the elements of defamation? So basically, if you're going to court, you want to know what really qualifies then, guys, for defamation. So you would say, what's the elements of defamation? Listen, to successfully establish a claim for civil defamation, listen carefully, a person must prove that statements are defamatory, tend to harm their reputation, and to refer to them or they could be identified from the statements. So basically, even if people probably come in and call in names, different names from the person's name, like the online thing that is going on where they will call Marwa Kenge, call Dimwango Gamaliza, da 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 da. As long as that statement was made with reference to you, that's how I see it. You understand? As long as the statements are directed to you, it can be deemed as defamatory. Okay, what are the remedies? What are the remedies to all of this? What can be done to all of this if the court or your lawyers decide that, yeah, they were talking about you? This is you who they were talking about. Now, what can be done in the court of law? It says the law offers remedies to those aggravated by reputational injury. It's not aggravated. Let me read that again. The law offers remedies to those aggrieved by reputational injury from defamatory publications, including the ability to sue for damages. I read that again. The law offers remedies to those aggrieved by reputational injury from defamatory publications, including the ability to sue for damages. No. You know that it would have like a time frame. There should be a window for you so the statute of limitation does not run out on you before you, the statute of limitation, so it doesn't run out on you. So you would have to, all of this would have to be done within a specific or would have to be taking place within a specific time frame. Limitation period. A suit for defamation in Kenya must be brought within 12 months from the date of the defamatory statement or that. Let me read that again. A suit of defamation in Kenya must be brought within 12 months from the date the defamatory statements were made. So within 12 months, within a time frame of the 12 months, you would have to bring that suit. Now, in terms of defense, one would have to think of how this is going to play out. It says there are various defenses available for those who sued for defamation, including truth, justification, fair comment, and qualified privilege. So, fair comment would tie with what our teacher and lady of Bungoma was basically saying. I don't know. I hope you guys can hear me clearly because I'm distorted in my earphones. Um, that would tie with what she was saying. So the defense would look into all these factors, whether whether eh, 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 whether whether our teacher was, giving a fair comment, or it was flat out, you know, a defamatory or defamatory statements were made. You understand? So whether it qualifies for fair comment or it's just defamatory. Anyway, the actions that can be taken towards one, if they're found, you know, in breach of this act, you can also let me just tell you, you can offer to make amends, like through both parties. Is it that you're going to offer to make amends? Let me just read what it says here. The Defamation Act also provides for an offer to make amends, which can be made by the publisher and can mitigate liability. Hmm? So the Defamation Act also provides for an offer to make amends, which can be made by the publisher. So either I'm going to fix it or I'm going to fix it. Either or either. All right? Now, in closing, let's speak about the consolidation of action. It says the court can consolidate multiple actions for defamation brought by the same plaintiff against the same defense. You understand? Multiple action, multiple actions. So let us see how this is going to play out. The defamation versus the freedom of speech. You understand? As it says here, where I was reading basic before, on the defense, there are various defense available to those who sued for defamation, including truth, justification, fair comment, and qualified privileges. That actually ties into her freedom of speech. So the law would have to decide either it was, a fair comment, or he or she is qualified to have that privilege to literally sit there, say that somebody is a scammer, or all the other things, among many other things. If it's fair, if it's for fair speech, if it's for fair privileges, if you understand what I'm trying to say. If it is okay, if it is part of their constitutional rights to sit up there and judge somebody in that manner, or defame somebody in that manner, or drag somebody in that manner, sit on your platform and say that, guys, do you know that there's also an act when it relates to like defamation against women and these things, there are so many sides, parts to the law. So coming out here to talk about freedom of use, freedom of speech, you have to remember what got you guys into trouble that way, to run and hide those videos, to remove those videos, put them into hiding on your platform. You have to remember what brought you guys there. When one would have had to say enough is enough, the defamation is too much against me and my family and the attacks. That's all it is. So I would give you a fail from one to all about this whole thing. It's a fail because you guys are forgetting what brought you into this hot mess. Anyway, my people, I want to bow out gracefully. It was really a pleasure being here and clarifying or going through, let me say, not clarifying, going through this whole masterclass that Our Lady of Bungoma provided. Um, we are here to learn from each other. And I'm not going to chest thump because no one can actually know the entire law or the law books of any country. You can't. There are things where there are times when you're going to slip up. And we should stop believing that YouTube governs the laws of your land. It does not. It does not. In the end, I shared something on my community tab. It was yesterday. Today's Friday. I don't know if it's the 5th of March or whatever. I shared something on my community tab yesterday. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. I want to find it, guys. And take your time with me. No rush, no rush. Take your time with me. Let me see if I can find it so we can speak sensibly on what it is that I want to speak about. Let me look for posts. All right. Um, yes. So there are times when, people will come out and say, because YouTube allows it, so we can do what we want to do. Do you remember those days when people would come out and say YouTube allows it? No, the same YouTube that allows it also turn around and say again, if your content violates our community guidelines, your channel may get a strike. Note, note, we may remove content for reasons other than community guidelines violations. Hear ye, hear ye. For example, a first party privacy complaint of a court order. In these cases, your channel won't get a strike, but they're going to remove your content. So there are strikes and there are removal of content. If the court provides YouTube with a particular order based on the court's findings and they rule in favor of the plaintiff, you are going to find yourself with your contents being taken down without a strike because it is the court that rules in the end. The same YouTube says so. It is the laws of your land will have the final say in certain cases, especially in one as the one that is in question right now, even though there's not a case. But we are talking about lawyers, we're talking about actions that may be taken sooner or later, sometime in the future, whatever. So when it relates to coming out here to chest thump that YouTube allows it, you should also remember when it comes to defamation and other things that you may have breached, the laws of the land, of your land, can also prevail over YouTube situation in the end. You understand? So remember that. Remember that. So it doesn't cover your behind The white tee doesn't cover your behind all the way. While you upload your content, uploading a content that is on their platform, or while uploading a content on their platform, it copyrights it. Yeah, it gives you the right, and that's why they always say make sure that what you upload, it's yours. Me and you videoing in the same position, in the same place at the same time, and I run. Even though I took you there, I invited you there. It is my occasion. But you run and you uploaded that video first before me, even though I am the host. And you uploaded before the host. Now when the host goes to upload, the host get a warning and that somebody already has that content, and he get a strike because automatically that that video, once it's been uploaded to the platform, it is automatically covered. Automatically covered. So then you come in now on the sideline with your little thing. You're gonna get bunks off because hello. Somebody else is here already with that same content, perfectly matching 100%. What are you doing? Get off. Remove this thing immediately. You understand? So me and you know gonna end up in problems in the court because it was me, I'm the host who invited you. And why did you go there and post it when I told you not to post it? Actually, I never tell you not to post it. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But you still went ahead anyways. So we're gonna end up in court. And the court decides that, okay, but you're out of place. Because the person invited you to this session, knowing damn well that there are some things that they want to point out to their audience. Why did you go and upload it? Remove it immediately. Hi. And when they provide YouTube with all the information in their findings, that video will go down. And the rightful owner of the content will have to put up his video now because he was the rightful owner from the beginning. Just giving you a little insight as to, how it will work. There are some cases though that YouTube never even respond to court. I've seen big cases where certain videos, like there was this guy who used to like to do pranks. And he did a prank that some people were deeming that it was just too much. And they took him to court, they do this, they do everything to take it down. And they were tackling him very hard to remove the video. And they brought papers to YouTube. YouTube said, no, we don't see nothing wrong with that video. That video is A-okay. Just like the way how they released back those people, even after their findings, and they applied, again, reapply for the petition, their cases, those videos that were taken down on channels. So they go back and, they might do the human review and blah, blah, blah. And they find that, okay, we could bypass this one. Let it stay. But in most cases, when it comes to defamation, they ain't playing. They're not going to play. So all those videos that are still in hiding, the fact that you have freedom of speech, before I close off, the fact that you have freedom of speech and the law is on your side, put back those videos. Just release them back and don't be afraid. Release them back. And let's see how this will all play out. We're here to learn. So if you can release them and nothing will happen, then we know that we will know how, us as young reactors, then we will know how to do our thing, how the thing goes. Yeah? Anyway, my people, like I said before, I think I've said a mouthful. And let us meet on the next one, guys. Literally, I'm lost for words. Literally, let us meet on the next one.
Been getting lit too much. Yeah. I just need a drink till I see you in my mind, and I know I can't touch. I don't wanna hit you.